Hey guys, what is up? This is Matt Talks Politics back here again for another video here on this Friday, March 16th, 2018. Today we have an alternate election video here from 1992, the year I was born, nearly 26 years ago. Um, so this is an interesting election, I think. Now, obviously, the original election, we saw Bill Clinton defeat incumbent President George H.W. Bush by electoral votes of 370 to 168. So a pretty decent win, technically by a landslide, I would say. Uh, George H.W. Bush lost by. I think a lot of that had to do with Ross Perot running as independent, taking nearly 20 million votes. So that's a lot of votes there. That I think more than half would have went to George Bush. So I think Bush would have, could have narrowly lost the election still in '92, but I think he also could have narrowly won against Bill Clinton, especially all the scandals that Bill Clinton was involved with at that time. But George H.W. really wasn't, to my knowledge, putting in full. Basically, I think his campaign, he wasn't trying as hard, I think, as he could have. And maybe at the time he didn't think he could win. Maybe I don't know. But again, I've watched a lot of the 1992 coverage videos, coverage on the elections on NBC News, CNN, whatever, and they're pretty interesting to go back. There actually there's quite a few on YouTube. If anyone wants to go out and watch these, just type in like 1992 election coverage, and type in like NBC News. You can watch the coverage on the election. Just see how the election played out. But that's a little off topic here, so I apologize. But so today we have George H.W. Bush running as a Republican. Now this election, Ross Perot is not involved. I may do another video where I have Bush versus Ross Perot singly, maybe. But for this video, we have just Ted Kennedy gets the Democrat nominee, not Bill Clinton. So we have the senator from Massachusetts, Ted Kennedy, against incumbent President George H.W. Bush. So for this one, we're going to start out. We're going to start in the New England area and then work our way out west. So I'm going to start in a little different way than I usually do. So first, we're going to cover Ted Kennedy states. For one, Massachusetts. He's the senator from Massachusetts. He's going to carry that state. And I think now, 4 years, New York would also go to Kennedy, as would Vermont, I think, and also as would Maine. I'm going to leave New Hampshire blank. Also up here, up the line here, all these states would go for Ted Kennedy, including Connecticut, which I think did go for Bush, I believe, in '88. But this one, we're going to leave West Virginia also for Ted Kennedy, as well as Hawaii. So Kennedy already has 104, doing almost as good as Michael Dukakis, but I think he'll also surpass Michael Dukakis in how he performs in this election. For one, though, I'm going to leave Indiana for George H.W. Bush with Dan Quayle. Now, the difference with this election is a lot of these southern states are not going to go Republican without Bill Clinton. So states like Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana are going for Bush, especially in the Deep South as well. Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia, and Texas. These are all going to go for, as well as Alaska, for George H.W. So H.W. already has a decent lead here. Also going to go up the line. These all would go for George H.W. Bush, all the way up here. So right there, Bush is at 181 to Ted Kennedy's 104. Bush does have a lead. Bush has already surpassed what he did in 1992 originally at 168. He has already surpassed that right now with 181. Also, when it comes down to Florida, I'm going to give Florida to Bush. I don't think Ted Kennedy could carry if Bill Clinton couldn't win Florida, I don't think Ted Kennedy would have won it either. I really don't. I just don't think it would have happened. So already puts Bush over the top to 206. Bush nearing his magic number of 270. Now, when it comes to these states up here, I think actually there's gonna be some swaps. We're gonna go back to the Rust Belt. We're gonna go back to Pennsylvania after. Now California, though, I'm gonna keep that in Kennedy's column. Bill Clinton won it. I think Bush would narrowly lose it, as well as Oregon, as well as Washington. I think you go right up the line. Kennedy would carry all those states out west, bring him to 176, trailing Bush's 206. Now these states would go. Montana would go for Bush. Wyoming and Utah, they all go for Bush. Putting Bush at 221. I don't think Montana would switch over. So Bush would carry that state as well, as he would also carry the state of Arizona and those 8 electoral votes, putting him at 229. So Bush is nearing a victory here. And now when it comes to Minnesota, I think that would end up going for Ted Kennedy. That state, I think, usually it does with Democrats, so I think Kennedy would be able to carry that one. Now, when it comes, though, to Michigan, I'm going to give Michigan to Bush. I think Bush would carry Michigan. I just have that feeling that Bush could carry the state of Michigan. He's very popular out there, and I think you'd end up carrying it. Now, though, when it comes to Illinois, though, that would be close, but I'm going to have to give that to Ted Kennedy. I think Kennedy would carry that. I think he would also carry the state of Wisconsin and the state of Iowa. Those states would all go, I think, for Ted Kennedy, putting him at 226, to Bush's 246. We're talking a very close election here. Very close election here, guys, with Ted Kennedy trailing Bush with 246. When it comes to New Mexico, I'm actually going to give that one to Bush. And now also when it comes to Nevada, though, that one I believe I will give to Ted Kennedy. And Colorado will stay with Bush. So if you look at the map here, 230 for Ted Kennedy, 260 to George H.W. Kennedy is performing very well against Bush here at, already getting 230 to Bush's 260. But this is going to be a very close election. Only a few states, I think, are going to make this election a difference. And it's all going to come down to, I think, well, I'm going to give New Hampshire, because it does border Massachusetts. Ted Kennedy's from there. Even though New Hampshire loves the Bushes, I'm going to give New Hampshire to Ted Kennedy. Narrowly. I think he would narrowly carry the state of New Hampshire and be able to carry that state. I don't think he win it by much. And also the state of Pennsylvania, I think, would also go to Ted Kennedy. That's a state that Bush carried before. I don't think Bush will carry it again. Now, it comes down to the Ohio, which I am going to give to George H.W. Bush. I think George H.W. will be able to carry Ohio. And I think that would be for the fact that, again, the Michigan, Bush is very popular out in the Midwest, and I think he would be able to carry those states out in the Midwest. The only one he would have to lose would be Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, those states. But I think he'd be able to carry Ohio. So I think this will probably be how the final electoral map would be in 1992 if it was Ted Kennedy versus George H.W. in a one-on-one election. Ted Kennedy being at 257. Ted Kennedy become very close to win this office of presidency. But I do think Bush would narrowly win 281 to Ted Kennedy's 257. So we'd have George H.W. Retain the office of the White House. It would be president for another 4 years. So I do predict 281 for George H.W. Again, final tally, final electoral college map is Bush 281 to Ted Kennedy's 257. So I think I thought this was a pretty fun video to do, guys, today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I will see you guys again on probably Monday for my next electoral college ultimate history video or prediction video, whatever it may be. I will see you guys probably on Monday, unless I do pop a video up here on the weekend, which is possible. I could. I'm off from work, so I might do another video. I might not. Not quite sure yet. We'll just have to see how the date plays out and see what goes on from there. So thanks for watching, guys. This was, again, the 1992 alternate election history video where George H.W. Bush wins re-election against Massachusetts State Senator at the time, Ted Kennedy. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.